me feeling like I'm academics.
Super interesting. Is that even though there's trillions of dollars being invested into it, the only way it will be profitable enough to sustain, like, for example, we have OpenAI, which has ChatGPT, Sora, and a couple of these other facets of AI. But OpenAI is a company. They've promised over 1.5 trillion in potential investment, not potential, in actual investments in data centers and buying chips and other things to fuel what they believe is going to be the future where AI controls everything. Now, the harsh reality is that AI, if it doesn't control everything, it'll never be profitable. If you're only using AI to fucking solve homework, find, the city with the baddest bitches or whatever the fuck you're using, like a chatbot or like an AI search, mechanism for. If you're only using it for like simple things, AI is intuitively going to lose billions of dollars, right? The thing behind AI is that, the most of the money is spent on these huge data centers and computational power. Also a lot of resources, water to cool these places, power to power these, data centers with all these chips that are running at lightning speed. They train on all this information that's already available, and they give you, they inference, or they infer what a really logical, sound answer would be. It's not going to get it's not going to get these companies to be whole. It's not going to be profitable. So, for example, remember I just showed you, I made some songs. Maybe you're a little bit well off like me. I paid like $1,000 for the year, right? It's $1,000 or $1,500 for the year to be able to make infinite amount of songs. Not really infinite, but a lot of songs. But you guys might like AI, but if someone told you had to pay like $1,500 for Google for the year, would you do it? Probably not, right? Now, for me, I'm looking at like, whatever. So a lot of this AI stuff, in terms of how they're going to make money, it becomes really hard because they need to convert everybody into paying customers. And the only way that'll be something that makes sense is if it takes over your entire life. The second way is, if they put ads into it, but that's already like a big conversation, because imagine if you ask AI, hey, what's the best restaurant to eat? By what most people say. And instead of telling you according to what people have ranked or regular conversation is saying, they tell you what someone who paid the AI company, I don't know, $200,000 says, like at that point, they're not even AI. It's kind of a paid advertisement. So there's a whole thing going on with it. But why am I saying that? So I'm saying that AI is headed towards this it's a cross in the road. Are we all going to acknowledge and adopt that AI is going to just fucking take over the world? Or are we just going to be like, no, it's supposed to help us but not replace every job? Which then the companies who invested billions and trillions, they're kind of fucked, because if AI is ancillary, what did y'all do all this for? Now comes a interesting news that, a lot of people are pondering even quickly the decision I said that they have to make, but we're pondering it from a user perspective. So I suggest this, or not suggest this. This is what I claim, and a lot of people agree. If you're into AI, or the more AI goes, we have to give up freedom. We have to give up, there's certain people who like living off the grid. They like to be private. And I've always said, like, the beautiful thing about America is that when you're an American and you live in this country, you have all these rights and you have this amazing government that allows you to do whatever, but you kind of also do give up some freedom. If you think there's no oversight to you, whether you're getting on a plane, them being able to, check whatever they want to check. Like there's always like Big Brother, right? And there's like this popular saying, I can't think of it off the top of my head. The price of freedom is something. I can't remember what it is. Like basically the price of freedom. Let me see, quote. There's a quote. Maybe I can find it here. Look, AI finds it for me. Eternal vigilance. Nah, I think it was something else. But it was basically like the price of freedom is like these other things. Like, for all the freedom we have, like after you see something like 9/11, we get Homeland Security, and Homeland Security basically could violate and break all rules, right? Like they get to say, hey, okay, you have freedom of this and freedom of that. But if we think that you are a terrorist, you have no freedoms. Fuck it. So it's an interesting thing. Now, again, I'm not trying to drag it. I'm trying to get to the point. Remember, AI can't be profitable for these companies unless it rules everything. And people are starting to see steps towards that. So I don't know if you guys know about Ring. I have 3 security systems at my house. I have a hardwired one, I have a Ring, and I have another one that's monitored somewhere else. Don't ask me why I have 3. If one fails, somebody cut the power. Trust me, niggas try to run up in my house before. I got to make sure I have 3 eyes, my nigga. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. But Ring camera just got exposed recently, okay? And they got exposed because a lot of people use Ring cameras because it's like a really easy way to connect a camera system that is stored in the cloud through your Wi-Fi that could monitor what's going on. Rather than pay for these, elaborate security systems, Ring is supposed to do that. However, recently, there's a company or a media company called 404 Media. They leaked some emails that suggested what the hell AI might be up to. So initially, and this one I'm trying to say, this is the scary part of AI, right? Remember, I'm telling you, AI cannot be profitable if he doesn't control every aspect of our life, right? If it's just a chatbot you ask for where the bitch is at, it's not going to be profitable. It got to be the thing that is so automated that you need it for everything. So Ring basically wanted to add something to a feature called Neighborhoods. I don't know if you guys have Ring on your phone or you have a Ring camera. There's something called Neighborhood, which is a really good feature, right? Like it kind of like geo maps you in your neighborhood. And obviously, since a lot of people have Ring camera to try to like prevent crime, prevent break-in or whatever the case is, or it will tell you, hey, listen, there was a car. Yo, I heard a loud bang last night at 8 o'clock. Maybe you never know. You might look at your camera and be like, oh shit, that's where the loud bang is on your camera, right? That's how people find out a lot of stuff. So it's like a neighborhood watch thing that it's a chat. Now, a lot of times, and I'm going to lie, I've used this in a Ring app because one time, I think my dog, Princess, she right after she gave birth, she kind of ran away from our property. And I'm like driving up and down trying to look for her, but I couldn't find her for like 2 hours. And I wrote on the Ring app. I said, yo, if anyone's seen a Rottweiler, just let me know. So this is a real thing. So, when people have this Ring app that's supposed to be for community, this and third, they use the neighborhood watch thing to kind of communicate, right? To be like, hey, did y'all see that sketchy car? Like, that was kind of weird. Did y'all see that? Hey, have you seen my dog? Have you seen this? Hey, there's a package thief over here. That's what happens. So Ring noticed that behavior on this community aspect of their app, and they wanted to put something to supposedly help the people who subscribe to Ring. When you have Ring, for them to keep the videos and shit like that, you have to pay a membership fee, okay? So they put something, and it's called Search Party. Now, the Search Party is for people who might lose their dog, right? So, like, say you lost your dog. The idea behind it is that all the Ring cameras could figure out, oh, your dog went here to here. He was last spotted here. It would help people find their dogs quicker. We all know, listen, my dogs is part of my life. I love my dogs. I know if you guys have dogs, you love them. That was the initial idea behind it. Now they rolled it out, and the people who have Ring had no problem with it. Because it seems like it's like an additive to your life, right? Like, oh, okay, if I lost my dog, my dog could get matched on all these neighborhood Ring cameras, and I could find my dog. Okay? Now, here's the irony behind it. is that some leaked emails from Ring have people now in a tailspin. By the way, Ring, if you guys don't know, is actually, I believe, bought by Amazon. Amazon owns Ring. Okay? They own the Ring camera company. Recently, everybody's like, whoa, this is going too crazy. Now it says Ring AI's powered search party won't stop at finding lost dogs, according to the leaked emails from the company. So remember, it sounds like a great thing. If I lose Pluto and you have Pluto walking past your door on your Ring camera like 5 minutes before, I could know what areas and I could shoot over to the air, whatever. That sounds good. But some leaked emails suggested that this, and by the way, that's AI doing it. Leaked emails actually suggested that the AI that's doing this, because I guess you would say to Ring, hey, I lost my dog. Could you track all the dogs that are like, wandering around, and it will kind of like figure it out for you. But a leaked email said that the search party for dogs was only going to be a first step. According to 404 Media, Ring has bigger plans for his AI-powered neighborhood search capability than just looking for lost dogs, the outlet reported. In October, the founder of Ring, Jamie Simoff, sent to all Ring employees that with Search Party, you can see now a future where we're able to zero out crime in neighborhoods. Ring, the Amazon-owned company, has come under intense criticism in the recent few weeks following a Super Bowl commercial for a Search Party feature that showed Ring camera surveilling a neighborhood for lost dogs. Again, people love their dogs. But the ad details how AI could be used to search through footage from Ring camera from a network of Ring cameras that sparked concern that it could be used as a broad surveillance tool, right? What does that mean? And by the way, that's where Palantir, that's another company that works straight with the military and like CIAs. They pitched themselves and got billion-dollar contracts basically saying we could find the terrorists when they're hiding. So we could take phone locations, we could take social media shit, geotags, like they basically combined everything. Now Ring used AI to supposedly combine all their cameras to find dogs, but people said, are y'all sure y'all only tracking dogs if y'all are using all the Ring cameras in the neighborhood to track shit? Here's the thing. So it says, in response to the question from The Verge, Ring maintained that search parties are purpose-built and it's not capable of searching people. Additionally, the company said sharing any footage from Ring cameras is at the owner's discretion, except in response to legal requests. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to have it here. There was some leaked, I want to get to the leaked emails. Here we go. So, 404 Media reports that, okay. So they indicate that the CEO had previously indicated that the cameras were supposed to find specific individuals in company emails. And that's where people are saying, hold the fuck up. Now, I'm not sure if you're a person who's in your house and, there's been this long conversation. Like, for example, I have Alexa all around my house. So Alexa, I believe Alexa's owned by Amazon. But Alexa and Ring, they're tied together. So, for example, in my house, like all my alerts come through Alexa, Ring, this and third. I have a hardwired system. But there's some people who are like, if at any time, like if I shout it out now, you'll hear it. Like, hey, I'm not going to say it because it'll turn on. But you're wondering, are they listening to my conversations? If you're talking about some stuff, it could not be illegal or not, but are they tracking everything I say? And I'm pretty sure you guys have had the experience if you have Alexa or somebody or one of those apps, one of those like, smart whatever in your house, Google Home. You notice you say something, and then when you go online or you're on an app, somehow it gives you the advertisement for the same thing, and you never search for it. You're like, what the fuck? How the hell they know? There's been long-term and long-standing, speculation that Alexa or whoever else is sitting, or even Siri, is sitting there listening to you, compiling data about what you're into. Why? Data it could potentially sell to retailers if they want to find people to market to. But even more cynical, maybe figuring out all your private conversations to know what you're into, your financial capability, know if you've done crime, know if you're cheating on your bitch, that type of stuff. If later queried by the government, if they could know what you're saying in your house because you basically have a listening device, you're fucked. So people, I know certain people, they don't like that function of Alexa, or they'll be like, you ever seen somebody like that has a work computer? They'll put a tape over the fucking camera because they're like, I don't know if they could access the camera and just see what the fuck I'm doing. People be working from home fucking, like, you know what I mean? They just got their laptop right there. They fucking, like, they drinking, like, they smoking. Like, niggas is doing whatever. So, they're always this, like, thought, like, maybe my employer just looks at the camera to see if I'm actually in work or I'm getting my dick sucked. So, people are scared of Big Brother, whether it's not even the government, but the entire idea is that when you're in your home, it should be sacred and private. If you're ever getting surveilled, it's because the police is doing it, not some random app. That's where we're at with Ring. So people, after seeing the leak emails, and yes, they were kind of itching it to crime, but here's the thing. If they're saying we might use Ring to figure out the people doing crime, wait, you think it's only the people trying to come steal cars? Maybe, I don't know. Shit, maybe you finesse the DoorDash driver. Maybe you fucking, I don't know, like maybe your dog shitted on the street and you ain't clean it up. How much will Ring help somebody figure out if somebody's doing crime? And at what point, basically, Ring is just surveillance for the feds. That's the problem. So this idea of how AI is expansive is now come into question really quickly again, because people are starting to say, this is odd. We don't want AI to completely be so autonomous that it is watching us. And remember, AI just operates as whatever the code or whatever, there's no AI just that has its own brain at this point. So it could be a Big Brother system. So that's one of the big hiccups that's happening right now with AI. People are wondering if AI, is it working for us, or is AI going to be something that the government just controls and we're going to live in a society where we're just kind of being all surveillance? Think about iRobot, right? iRobot is the best example, right? Like the idea of having this robot you could tell to do whatever is great until the robot becomes kind of sentient or they kind of deal with the government in a network type way where they're basically watching you to make sure you don't do shit, right? So if now they could be like, yo, hey, we told you stop having your dog shit on the lawn. Hey, we told you to stop jaywalking. Hey, we seen your car roll through the stoplight even though there wasn't a cop. People are worried that AI will be something that is essentially controlling our world. Keep that in mind. One more particular, and it's a slightly business thing as we go into our regular topics, and I think we're gonna get into, I think we might get into Dirk as the topic afterwards. And by the way, wrapping up that last, thing I was saying, the love we have with AI is gonna always have to be measured with how much of our privacy we want to give up. It's a quintessential problem in most modern society, and especially America. And I guess this was I was trying to start the monologue with, but it's this idea. We have several conversations. We see people on Capitol Hill, in Congress, having these hearings. There's always a political thing about gun control, who should have a gun, who shouldn't have a gun. The problem with America is honestly we're too free, right? We're allowed to have guns. Well, they're not allowed to have guns in Australia. Yes. Have they had gun crimes? Yes, but it's rare and very few in between. The United States of America has the most school shootings of everywhere. And why? Because we have the most liberal gun laws. So the more free you are, it brings on more problems. As crazy as it sounds, the more stoic or, repressive regimes, in the nation, they report the least amount of crimes. When you don't allow people to do anything they want, you have more of a predictable outcome. When you tell people they could do anything they want, you're going to deal with a lot more mess. So it's always that balance, right? Like, nobody likes school shootings, but we all like but do you want to defend the right to have guns? So you're playing like this like really interesting game. Same thing's happening with AI. Well, the more you adopt AI, the less intuitively freedoms you'll have. Because AI itself, the way how it works, it needs something to analyze. And at some point, like, for example, like if you say, how do I, Jim Jones is probably saying, how do I change a door frame, right? AI is going to analyze how thousands, if not millions of people have changed a door frame in the best way. And, they're going to go over feedback in that quick and tell you. But when AI is so prolific in a society, you become what they study. So it's not studying door frames, it's studying your behavior. So when AI is on Ring cameras and it starts to learn, because AI learns, but it learns from what's already there. So when AI now finds out, well, basically the last 3 people who reported a break-in, it was when we saw on 3 to 4 cameras, 5 houses down or 2 blocks away, it was dudes with hoodies and face masking. Now the AI, because it learns and then it infers, is going to then basically profile. It's going to say, well, there's a person that is walking down the street with the hoodie, or they're in a car, whatever, and some black facial covering. The chances are that they do a crime is going to be whatever. And if you guys have never seen a movie called Minority Report, that is very important to kind of be juxtaposed to. Again, I think for the people who are really into that stuff, you'll know what I'm saying. But the idea behind AI, the scary part is that because AI learns and it infers, there is potential possibility that AI will start to profile. And if law enforcement uses AI to either predict crime or to try to prevent it by, looking at signs of where the AI comes up with, because remember, they're saying they're going to start looking at people. Yeah, you never know. The AI might be like, well, when we see black people with a hoodie in this area that we know black people ain't at, that's a robber. So many more problems to come with AI. Last business thing real quick. And I know sometimes I know this is not the favorite segment for a lot of you guys that do tune in here, but I do appreciate you guys for at least staying at least a little bit attentive while I get through it. Is this idea, and we're going to get in some Epstein stuff, but that's his own segment. Chat, it's all politics as usual. And I hope you understand that intuitively, that the majority of things we continue to talk about, it's fully fueled in politics and political decisions. Now, I know some people might be like, we don't like when you go down this realm because maybe I don't agree with you politically. Well, the way I'm speaking about these things is not about my political view. It's just kind of understanding politics. And I personally believe it's true for both sides. There's no good person in this. Just like I said, when it came to talking about like the Epstein list, or not Epstein list, but Vlad's tweet, trust your gut. Certain things I think are just unilateral truths. And the quicker you learn it about the world, I think you're better armed. So just still, don't believe me. Trust your gut on everything. Real quick with that, just showing how so many things in life go back to some of the same origin or the same routes. Politics as usual. We've been talking about this idea that Netflix, which I think you guys are subscribed to, I am. Netflix is looking to buy Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers is